And so he's got it right there. And then Red is sitting there and just happens to look over, and he sees his junk. Now you got junk just hanging out.
Yeah, now that's a criminal offense.
Right?
Yeah.
Totally a criminal.
Yeah, at that point you have to alert the flight attendants.
So he rings his bell, right? You didn't ring your bell?
I was texting the band.
So what are we going to do?
I was like,
All right, welcome back to another episode of Drop a Pin. Today we have a big episode for you. It was really fun to interview with these guys. Their name is LOCASH.
I did not know who they were before the podcast.
Our guy Sam did, a producer Sam did. He used to roll around with his mom listening to him in the minivan.
Yeah, and then once I played some of their songs on Spotify, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard this.
If you've watched TV or you've been on TikTok or anything, you've heard their songs for sure. Interesting guys. It was a fun interview.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge country guy, but that's never gonna stop me from talking to someone.
You almost became a huge country guy.
Oh yes, I almost performed with them, but
yeah, you'll hear about that more later on in the episode. We got some big episodes coming up down the old pike. Pumped for several of them.
Yeah, we just recorded one with Ari Shafir, which will come out eventually. Finally settled the debate of whether or not we're just copying his podcast.
Right.
Yeah. A Lebanon episode with one of the dudes who was on the Barstool trip, and he was also in India with me, but then afterwards he went to Lebanon, got kind of, would you say held captive? Or
I would say detained.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. He was detained by Hezbollah, not once, but twice, and we'll hear all about that. Me and Chaps recorded an episode on French Polynesia, which is where I did my honeymoon. So if any of you little lovebirds are looking for a honeymoon destination, definitely listen to that.
We should have that as a segment, where to fuck.
Where to fuck.
Yeah, if you're going on a vacation and that's the goal, is like a romantic getaway, is it fuckable? Is it a spot where you want to fuck?
Yeah, although I think the people listening to this pod probably want to know where they can travel and pick up chicks.
Oh, yeah.
If I travel with just a couple
or dudes.
Yeah, or dudes. Where will I be able to get laid?
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people say in France, it's harder because French girls are ugh, American. But in Australia, I think they like Americans.
Oh, big time. That goes back to World War II.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the dudes in World War II were getting tons of strange in Australia.
I don't doubt it. And I bet you Australians get tons of strange in America.
Oh, anywhere it's the different type of English accent.
Yeah. And
I'm not sure how much Boston plays in Australia.
I think it was in China where some girl loved the Boston accent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, Australians are known for being blonde, tan, usually fit. So yeah, they always clean up in the U.S. At some point, I'd like to do a White Lotus series where we do Hawaii, Sicily, then Thailand, because I've been to all three of those places, and you've been to at least Hawaii and Sicily.
No, I've been to all three too.
All three too? And your mom lived in Sicily for a while, so she'd be a huge get for the pod.
Yeah, my mom would be big. She got flirted with and chased down by an Italian dude, a Sicilian, who there were some cultural differences in the 80s where if you were an American woman and you smiled at people, and my mom is from the deep South, so she smiles at everybody, and they followed him home, and luckily one of my dad's buddies lived next door, and he came out and almost had to fight the guy.
Okay.
But also credit to my mom, because she must have been a looker.
I've never seen your mom, but hopefully I will on a future pod. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
A quick little travel advisory before we get into the pod. Dysentery is on the rise in Oregon.
Ah, shit. Yeah. And measles in Texas.
Yeah, measles in Texas, maybe Ohio too.
Yeah, California.
And
who's back of the week on the little PMT?
Yeah.
Measles.
Dysentery, though, I thought that was eradicated. That's pretty much all I know, is that you just shit yourself until you die.
It was the most common form of death in the Civil War.
It's not a good way to go. I mean,
No.
we've all had diarrhea, but imagine if it just never stops until you eventually die.
I've had it since Easter of 2007.
But you'll go bouts without having it too?
Occasionally.
Okay. Well, if you're just saying you've never had
It's controlled.
you haven't had a solid poop since that date, but it's
No,
not,
I haven't been violently.
Yeah,
Like
violent.
I haven't done like Philippines lettuce shits.
Okay. The lettuce fever. Don't remind me. Another thing I'd like to do for this pod, I want to get some members of or people who were on the show 90 Day Fiance to come on.
Oh, me too. Or 1,000 Pound Sisters, just for personal reasons.
Either or. And I think we could do it because it's a good platform for them to promote their shows.
Yeah.
The 1,000 Pound Sisters probably aren't as well traveled as the 90 Day Fiance cast members.
I mean, depends if you, like, not internationally, but inside Kentucky, I imagine they've been to several cities.
You can only go so far in a rascal scooter.
That's true. Yeah. They have ramps. I think that's one of my favorite aspects about 1,000 Pound Sisters is that the official sponsor of that show, like we have shows that are presented by whatever, theirs is the Tourism Board of Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
It's about super fats. Like the whole family's fat as fuck. And the Board of Kentucky's like, this is what we got to slap our name on.
hey, I mean, I'm sold. I've never been to Kentucky.
Yeah. Any state, I'll say
get
this.
there.
If you are in charge of any state's tourism board, you're more than welcome to sign on and be the presenting partner.
I'm surprised I have never had a tourism board partnership.
Yeah.
We got to make that happen.
Almost happened with Bhutan, right?
It still could. I mean,
Yeah.
that trip is still on the table. I don't think we offended people too much by calling their king an Elvis impersonator.
I think it's actually a compliment
I mean, yeah.
because that guy fucks just like you can if you can with our friends at Blue Chew. You can have some better sex with Blue Chew because Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. And starting now, Blue Chew is offering a combo so strong it'll knock your socks off or hers. Mm-hmm. And your neighbor's socks off. You'll have to move towns with the amount of noise that you'll be making. Blue Chew Max has arrived, and it combines the active ingredients of Viagra, Cialis into one chewable. This combo acts fast and lasts. I haven't tried Blue Chew yet, but I don't think there's ever been a line in 8.5 years of ad reads that has made me want to try a product more. Viagra and Cialis cocktail together in one chewable tablet.
It's perfect because you can't always predict exactly when you're going to have sex.
No.
And I think with like Cialis, it's kind of more long-term effects. So if you're like, you know what, I have a good feeling I'm going to get laid in the next 48 hours, you could take the Blue Chew Max and you'll still be ready to go.
And I'm reading Lonesome Dove right now, and you might be wondering how am I going to tie Lonesome Dove into a Blue Chew ad read? But the answer is I will only refer to sex like they do on Lonesome Dove. I would love to have a poke when I'm on Blue Chew.
Quick little poke.
Have a poke.
Takes me back to my Facebook days when
Yeah.
you could like poke a chick you thought was kind of cute.
Also, did you know, I think we talked about it. Well, what's the root of the word horny? Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. Maybe because your erect penis is kind of like a horn.
It came from having the horn. Is where it came from. Like the original, like your horn. You have a horn.
Oh, yeah.
And so now you're horny.
Like a triceratops little horn coming out of there.
That's exactly right. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part is it's all done online. That means there's no visits to the doctor, no awkward conversation, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew won't stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. That is the mission. Make your life easier by getting harder and discovering your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew free when you use promo code DROP. Just pay $5 in shipping. That's promo code DROP, D-R-O-P. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast. Let's get into it and talk to our pals from LOCASH.
Are you going to go headphones on or off? I guess we don't.
I'm going to go off. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, they don't
I
have
guess
headphones.
they could take our seats during that part or something like that.
Okay.
There's usually a stewardess that gives us headphones when we get on the plane.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we can just save that for the end of the pod or something. Then they
Okay.
can change seats.
I'm not gonna lie, I laid my seat back a little bit.
Right?
Did you serve?
Feels like
Yeah.
Oh man, thank you
Yeah.
for your service,
Sure.
brother.
Appreciate it.
No doubt, that's great.
what
Was in-
years?
From 2003 until 2012. I was in
Wow.
the Marine
Okay.
Corps.
No,
Wow.
boy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Check off not to fight.
Besides getting shot.
Yeah, besides getting shot sucked, but
You got shot?
uh-huh,
Oh, shit.
through my arm.
I'm all right. How are we? Can we talk about it?
Are we recording?
I mean,
I think our listeners have heard it a bunch of
I
times.
haven't. I want to know what it feels like to be shot. I don't want to find out.
Okay, I could say I'll say that.
All right.
So I always like when you see it in movies, people say it's like sharp or hot, you know. For me, it was kind of like you're standing in the tee box of like playing golf and you just stand in front of it and somebody hits a driver and it hits you in the arm. Like it was a really
More like
blunt
our
force.
tour manager hitting, not Preston, because it won't hurt.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like kind of
Sorry.
spun me around. I thought I got hit by a brick that was flying in the air.
So when Forrest Gump said something bit me,
Yeah, I mean, his was in the ass, so I'm not sure. Both of us $1 million wounds though. Mine went straight through the radial in ulna, like right through it, like made like a groove in one of my bones.
it
And
came out.
Yep, but I was back like 3 weeks later,
Y'all
going
are
back
crazy.
out doing missions and shit.
Thank God there's people like you. Seriously.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Well,
back
thanks
in
for
the
your
day,
service.
different guy now, lazy podcaster now, gonna struggle running the 40-yard dash.
Yeah.
Those days are long.
You've earned it,
behind me.
though.
What's that?
You've earned it.
Ah, that's
Yeah,
all right.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude.
But I'm not the subject of the pod today. Today on Drop a Pin, we're lucky to have LOCASH that is in town to do. You got performing, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
we're doing
sir.
a show tonight. Joe's on Rosemont.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like Joe's. That's a good
Yeah, it's a
club.
fun joint.
Yeah, like people in there. It's a smaller venue, not huge.
Right.
But I think that those are the best. Those are my favorite kind
Yeah.
of concerts.
Yeah.
I
It's
went-
fun. They get to know who really we are and talk a little bit, tell
Yeah.
a little bit
The
of a
place is
story.
also built real cool with the balcony, but
Yeah.
it's kind of up close still.
Yeah.
But you guys are invited, of course.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
He just had a baby. His
Yeah.
wife just had a
That's
baby.
what he's telling us.
We'll see
Perfect.
we'll
You
see
need a
if I
night
can get
out,
away.
man.
I do. I do. But
She would love him coming home a little bit hungover, drunk, and helping with the
It works
baby.
well.
Yeah.
I'm not the one breastfeeding, so I can have alcohol in my blood,
Yeah.
right.
True.
alcohol in my milk.
True, exactly right. So today I have a question for you guys
Okay.
before we really get started. I looked it up. Do you have any idea how many concerts you've performed?
Man, we talk about this all the time. 'Cause
Yeah.
We've done a shit ton.
I mean,
Do you know the number? I know the number.
You know the number?
You know
I
the
know
number?
Oh, shit.
Yep,
This is great.
I looked it up.
is it on Wikipedia or is it on?
No, I looked it up in ChatGPT.
Oh, wow.
And they came up with an exact
I
number.
wonder if they include
They don't include radio.
all the radio shows we've done.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
between.
Probably not the radio, but
And also,
actual
like-
That's okay. This is still cool.
In
Yeah.
ChatGPT, they're probably not going to know about your very first shows before you guys were really on the map. You think?
that calculated any place that on
Well,
the
like last
internet
night
has
was a
sold
radio
tickets.
show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last night was a radio show.
All right.
And it probably doesn't.
Yeah, so if it wasn't on
register that.
Ticketmaster or anything like that,
Yeah,
yeah,
that probably doesn't.
We do a
count.
lot of
But I'm
partnerships
still
shows
interested. It's
and
still going to be a ton.
Yeah, so I'm.
What's your guess?
I'm gonna say, well, I remember seeing. So there's this band called Sawyer Brown, awesome country band, and we were working out of their studio early on, and I had to go to the bathroom, and they said, well, the bathroom's in the building next door. So I go over there, and they had this award on the wall, and it was this golden ticket, and it was presented by like a promoter or something. It said to commemorate 1,500 concerts, and I was like, dang, we haven't even done one.
Yeah.
And I was like, someday we're gonna beat that. So I'm praying that it's more than that, and if it's not, we still have work to do.
What about you? What's your guess?
I mean, I could guess what we think it is, or without the Ticketmaster. But with Ticketmaster, I would say 3,000.
So the number for concerts, like tickets sold that they can verify, 1,524.
Let's go.
go.
Just passed
Fucking
it not
A.
too long ago.
Wow.
It got too loud. I got jacked.
No, you're
I mean,
good.
that's like Rain Man stuff, dude. Good
Yeah,
job,
that was
bro.
Dude,
crazy.
that's been like a 20-year commitment to me because I was like, someday. And I still see it in my head. I'm like, that award, I was like, those are the hardest working boys. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's got to be us. you
Yeah,
know?
we need to order, Donnie. We need to order them one of those records, like the blacks.
Okay. Yeah.
So I
That'd
would
be one of
I
my
would times
favorite
it times
that
it
hangs on
by
the wall.
2
Yeah, yeah.
for what we probably have done, because we used to do 2 shows a day.
Jeez.
I mean, we would come in and do a half hour for this radio show, fly to New York and do a half hour there.
Yeah.
damn.
That's
And-
crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That made my day, though.
Yeah,
Thanks for doing that, man.
Yeah, no problem.
That's cool.
It was like 4 seconds on ChatGPT.
I
That shit's
love
fucking
AI is
crazy.
so good, dude.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm doing our contracts on there right now. It's
We
crazy.
really are. We're not
Yeah.
supposed to say that, but
Yeah,
yeah, we
well,
are.
oops.
Yeah.
Those are legally made by our attorneys.
In fact, I think we just wrote our bio. I literally
Yeah.
just tried it. Somebody was asking us, "Hey, it's going to cost us like $2,000 to write a bio, and this guy interviews you." I'm like, "Oh, that's fantastic.
No,
How would I
not
just tell
today.
AI
No.
to write it?"
We do
No
it for our YouTube
Yeah.
like summaries.
We have been. I mean, I had never done it that way until you started sending me the YouTube descriptions, and I was like, Chaps definitely did not write this.
Fuck
but
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
it's like very few people read that, but you just say in ChatGPT, optimize for SEO,
like
and then
put
that.
hashtags, relevant
Yeah.
things in there.
Yeah.
Optimize it for iTunes.
Yeah.
And it nails
does
it.
perfect.
It
crushes
nails it.
Yeah, it's amazing. My wife does like scientific research, and she'll upload like these 2 gigabytes of just text and be like, find any inconsistencies or
No
any
way.
contradictions.
That's
and it
unbelievable.
will. Like it'll find the grammatical mistakes or anything like that. It's nuts what you can do.
Have we asked it about aliens and shit like that?
Yeah, you
it's-
can ask it about anything,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I
it's,
wonder
it's
what
not
the-
going to have the answer.
but you don't know that.
I
Not
mean,
yet.
See, I'm with you.
I mean, it will have an answer, but I mean,
Yeah.
It's going to have
Sure,
an answer that might be better than what we think,
Yeah, could be. Could be.
based
Eventually.
upon this and based on with that scientific research. That just made me think.
Yeah. So with those 1,500 concerts or more, 3,000 that you guys have done, I want to know what the worst place that you've done. A
Yeah, because
concert.
everybody always asks the best.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
worse place. When you say worst, I think of a hotel. We were in Winfield, Kansas. They're close to that, heart of America. That
oh,
was
you're
our
talking
first
about where
show.
we were staying.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there first.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
could go with the
yeah.
place
So not
we
the worst
played.
concert, but like the worst
This
place
is
you
the
guys
worst
have had to
Scary.
travel.
hotel.
This is traumatic.
This
Okay.
this place called the Sonner Inn, and
Or the sonar. I don't
Sonar,
know
whatever it
how they
was.
say it. Yeah.
And we were living in a Jeep Cherokee, and it was like the night where they actually put us up in a hotel. We're like, oh my god,
Boys, we got you hotel rooms.
we had to
I'm
shower.
like, no
you know?
way.
I mean, literally, we lived in a Cherokee for a year, and we got in there and go to lay down in the bed. There's blood splattered on the bed. There's roaches next to your pillow, looking at you like you're
I mean,
gonna sleep
I
next
feel
to
like
me
we
tonight.
saw the outline of a dead person on the carpet or something.
was
But
the
that might have
worst
just been me. You know?
hotel I've ever seen.
It
in
felt
my
that
life,
way.
ever.
like a tiny little motel.
It's a
Oh,
motel,
yeah.
yeah,
Doors
not a
on the
hotel.
outside.
Oh, it was bad news.
Yeah.
But the venue was way better than
Yeah.
the motel.
Yeah.
So venue wise, what do you think? I mean,
Well, we were playing this place down in.
Oklahoma.
That was bad.
We got beer thrown at us. They had a cage. There's a cage.
The worst place.
That you
the worst
went
place.
in?
Yeah, where the band was separated. The cage was separated the stage.
Yeah, and the beers were
Old Blues
actually a
Brothers
compliment.
stuff.
So what they do is they got chicken wire up in front of the stage, and then you sit on the stage, and then it's right on. So Bonnie and Clyde used to hide upstairs, and so it was right on the state. It's called the State Line Lounge.
Yep.
Badass little joint.
Still around.
And it's right on the Oklahoma Kansas line, and I mean you can see the line. And so the say that Bonnie and Clyde would rob banks or whatever in Kansas and then hightail it down to Oklahoma, cross the state line.
No
They're
jurisdiction.
good.
Yeah.
No jurisdiction. Get a beer, hide upstairs, park outside, and then the railroad tracks go by. I mean, real damn close. Yeah.
You
way
can't
too
sing
close.
over the railroad tracks. When the train goes by, you can't sing.
But
You can't
everybody runs outside, and it's like a tradition. When the train goes by during a concert, everybody runs outside and moons the train. And so everybody's
sounds
hammered,
fucking
drunk.
sick. Yeah,
you know,
it really was.
It's
It
my
was
kind of
actually-
joint, really.
Yeah.
So I don't really think that's the worst. It's kind of the coolest in a way.
Yeah, like, do they market the place as this is the one spot where you can throw beers at the musicians?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
why they have the chicken?
We
wire?
so
didn't
when they
know
get
that. They
jacked
should have
up, they
told us
start
earlier,
throwing their
but-
bottles, and the bottles get hit by they get caught by the chicken wire, and the beer splashes everywhere, and everybody cheers.
But
you
when
know?
you're doing those 2 shows a day, sometimes I'm sure that was probably the time that y'all were doing that.
Yeah.
When you're doing that's got to break up the monotony.
it does.
It does.
I don't
really
even
does.
know if it's like that anymore. I mean, this was a long
They
ass time ago.
have to keep it like that, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time.
What were you
So
talking about?
one of the worst places we ever played was this place called Big Daddy's, and
boy.
it's down in
Florida State.
Florida State area, and man,
That
we
got
were making like
shady.
$500 a night back then. and that $500 was so important. We had to have it to get fuel in our van or whatever, pay the band, whatever. And so the owner's like, hey, it was a cool little joint, packed, college kids everywhere.
Florida State has beautiful girls.
He says, hey, I
pretty girls.
I don't have the money to pay you yet. Just go on stage, do your show, and I'll have the money afterwards. That's like, man, that's making a date with heartache right there, because they're going to roll out the back
But we also
door.
had a tour manager was a sheriff, so he was always packing, and we weren't that worried.
Yeah.
So comes the end of the show. I mean, you got all the kids there. Everybody's ready for a show. You got to do it, or you look like the bad guys.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's just go on and do the show and just pray he has the dough at the end. So we got on stage. We did our thing. Sure enough, he hightails it out the back just like we thought. And our tour manager chased his ass down and, got the money. And just one-on-one, just wrestled him rough and rowdy in the back. And got it.
Yeah.
Is that the night where I witnessed?
Yeah. Same time.
I witnessed a guy rob a woman in front of our car and push her in front of a car.
Jeez.
She got hit. I came off and I ran after the guy. He had one shoe on. It was the fastest guy I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not to say that I'm very fast, but I could not catch this guy. There's no way. He hopped a fence literally just like Spider-Man would hop a fence.
Jeez.
And the cops were asking me, what did he look like? I'm like, he's got one shoe. I was like, I don't know. And he was running.
Man.
They end up catching a guy, and I remember the cops saying, is this the guy? And he's like, is this the guy?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's the guy. I couldn't see his face or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But they
It was
found
a wild
him.
little 24 hours, but still nothing bad about the venue. It's hard to think about bad venues because, if they got a stage and some lights and some
Back
beer,
then, anything was good.
we're gonna rock.
And you guys got your start in Nashville?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, in a place like Nashville, there's probably like 100,000 people trying to make it in country music.
Good.
How did you,
Yeah.
very talented
Yes.
songwriters, how did you guys get your first big break there? I feel like that's like going to Manhattan and trying to make it as a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough,
true.
man. Tough town.
We
Tootsie's.
actually, we started at Tootsie's, but then we left Nashville too.
Okay.
So we started
Tootsie's
building
gave
our
us like Wednesday nights. Tootsie's famous right there on Broadway if you've
Yep.
never been, but most people have been. And that back then they had this tiny little front stage, and they had expanded into a back room. Now they have like 5 stages and it
Yeah.
goes up to the
Levels
rooftop
and
and
stuff,
everything.
so.
Back then there was just 2 stages, and the big one was in the back. And so they said you can have Wednesday nights for 1 hour in the back. And we're like, okay, that's great. And they're like, we'll pay you $40 to come play.
Not
Which is
each.
Actually,
Whole band,
yeah,
40.
because then you do the tip jar, right? So we're like, man, do the tip jar. And I had this neighbor girl, she was a pretty girl, and so we said, man, let's get Stacy to do the tip jar and walk around with it, almost like a ringside girl, right?
Yeah.
And so we were just trying to think of anything to make extra dough, and we were making like, I don't know, $120, $150 a night, including the money they were paying us.
Yeah.
So we were able to pay our band and start that way. And then they were like, okay, we're going to move you guys to Friday nights. The crowd is building. It's starting to get crazy. And that was our sign. We were like, we're going to skip Friday nights because you can get stuck down there on Broadway. Just it can build and build and
Yeah.
build, and then you're a Broadway band.
Almost like busking on a stage.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then when you're a
Yes.
Broadway band, they probably want you to play covers a lot of the time
a lot
too,
of covers.
And then you turn into 3 hours and 3-hour shifts. And, it doesn't feel quite like you're going after this dream, you're going after this. It's just a different thing. And so we
It
were
was
like,
funny when we were on the backstage. Chris Jansen was on the front stage, so we grew up in Tootsie's together.
Yeah.
That's why we're really good
we
buddies.
flip flop
man.
sets, And so anyway, we decided to pass on the Friday nights and just jump in my Jeep Cherokee, pull a U-Haul, and, just go start playing fairs and festivals around the country.
Are you guys working regular jobs and all that shit was going on?
Yeah, so we worked at the Wild Horse Saloon as DJs. There was about 5 streets away, but if you use the alleyways, you could get there in like 5 minutes running through the alleys. And so we would go and work at the Wild Horse, and on our breaks, we would run up on Wednesday nights. The band would be set up, and we would jump on stage, do it, and then run back down the alleys to the Wild Horse, and they would, hopefully not have missed us too
Yeah,
long.
because usually when we left, there would be a band playing for an hour, or
Yeah.
75 minutes, and then we'd go play at Tootsie's while that happened.
Has there been any places that you've traveled over in your Cherokee or after where you guys were just like, fuck this city, we're not coming back?
Yeah, Memphis.
Yeah.
Memphis.
Easy.
Memphis is rough.
Yeah.
Only
Memphis
town we
was-
ever got robbed in.
Yeah.
Okay, what happened?
I mean, that tells you something.
I mean,
We played every town.
yeah.
We played everywhere.
And it's weird because they have a great country music station there.
They
Like,
really do, and they support us. They do
they're
great
fantastic.
for us.
But it's hard to play. I mean, there are country music fans there.
We'll always come back for radio.
Yeah.
Always come back to. And Memphis, we've had some good shows there since. But man,
I mean, if you just
That was
stay
a
on
rough
Beale
night.
Street, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, if you just stay there. But
Yeah.
when you kind of walk off Beale Street, don't have any cash in your pocket.
It's kind of Chicago's that way too, you
Yeah.
know, where
Yeah.
you
Right.
Chicago, where you're in like a nice area, you can go a couple blocks and you're like, oh shit.
yeah.
Yeah, but there's like
around.
very large areas of Chicago that are
for sure,
perfectly safe.
For sure, I
Yeah.
have never felt like unsafe here yet, but I know
Certain
I'm not going
neighborhoods
to
you
like
wouldn't
O
wanna go.
Block.
You also know how to kill people, so you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot.
Yeah,
That's fair. What happened the night you got robbed?
Man, we were playing. We were on a Redman tour, and we went down to our hotel.
pretty sweet. You guys run a Redman tour?
Yeah,
So
we
they-
were.
Redman
It was
Maxim.
Redman Maxim tour.
Oh,
So
okay.
they
Is
Is
had
Maxim still around?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
So they
Yeah,
had the
still
Maxim
Horny.
girls.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
They had
many a
like
jerk-offs to that.
a dozen
Same.
Maxim girls at every show.
Yeah.
So we did like 14 cities together, and then we would go in. We would just show up, and they would have the Maxim girls on stage and work in the crowd, promo type girls, and then Redman would be there sampling out all their different stuff.
Oh, I thought
new
you
products.
meant Redman from Wu-Tang.
Yeah, yes. But,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
I
no,
thought you
no,
meant
no.
Redman.
Maybe a
Maybe
little
Redman
cooler.
Chew.
I was
I
like,
would have been okay
He
with
might
that.
have been there. The
those
whole year
attract
was
the
a
same
blur
fans?
for us.
We
I
did
don't
have-
really
Little
remember
John
much.
was at a couple of our shows. For
Okay,
that
cool.
Too, so.
Yeah, I don't remember if Redman was there because
He may have been. Dude, there were so many celebrities. and
We
stuff.
always say 2008 was the year we don't remember.
Yeah.
And so it was total blackout year.
Is that when you had your first like radio hit?
No,
no.
our first radio hit didn't hit till 2014, 15, right in there.
We were,
That was
we
I
were
Love This
selling
Life.
out venues, small venues, just like crazy in the Maxim thing. I mean, we made money on it, but when you get to pick audition the Maxim girls every city.
You did?
Yeah, we had to
I didn't
watch
get to
them.
do
We didn't- I
that.
mean, did audition, but we had to come in there because this girl fit for the Maxim tour. And we're like, yep.
Wow.
Pre-marriage.
Yeah.
I miss those meetings.
Yeah, right. You know you didn't miss those.
Was your first radio hit when your like whole lives changed completely? Would you say?
Yeah, yeah. When I Love This Life, we
Wow.
had some hits that
You
got
gotta
up to
fly.
like top 30, and then the record label would close or something like they would just be bad circumstances. We just get right there, and then I Love This Life came out, and it changed everything. It started climbing. It was like the little train that could, and I remember we had a song called Keep in Mind that got to like top 30, and
Then the
it-
guy that
and it
funded
died.
the record label was embezzling the money.
Yeah, yeah. So the record label folds and the song dies at 30, and then it takes like, I don't know, 10 years to get back on the charts. I mean, it took forever to get back on the charts for us. And so we just kept believing it was happening. I Love This Life comes out, it starts climbing, it's at 40. We're like, man, is it going to get to 30 and even past 30? We've seen this movie before. It gets to 31, it gets to 30, and we're in a car doing a radio show out in Colorado, and I remember our radio guy turns around and he says, guys, you just got to 29. And it was like this big moment for us. It was like, okay, we've crossed into the other whatever that is,
It's
the top
considered
tier.
a hit now. You know what I mean? Once it's top 40 and stuff, it's been on the radio.
And it went all the way for us, and then all of a sudden we're just everywhere.
Prior
it's
to that,
crazy.
though, we wouldn't have had anything if it wasn't for Keith Urban recording a song
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
And then McGraw.
Our guy Sam said that whenever we told him that we were gonna interview guys, he was like, "Man, I used to ride around with my parents and bumping that shit all the time."
Ah, that's dope. Thanks, man.
I was in like
On his way to middle school.
7th, 8th grade when I Love This Life came out. So
Yeah.
like
Well, we were only in 10th. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy what that song has done for us, man. It's on its 10-year anniversary right now, and we've re-recorded the master, so kind of inspired by Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
the way she did all of her re-recordings.
I
So
love
now
that
we own the
Brazil
new
Cash
master.
version. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Brazil
now we
just
have
put
our
it
own master of that, and we're putting it out this year. And we just have so many people that say they're going through tough times and they throw that song on to get through the tough times, and that means a lot. You know, we weren't thinking about all that when we wrote it. We're just trying to write a up tempo and have fun and keep it real. And
It makes sense because of the sound of it. You can't really be melancholy when you're listening. I'm
that
depressed.
one-
Let me throw on I Love This Life shit.
Yeah.
That's what I used to tell radio. What, you don't love your life? You're not going to play the song? Or you just hate life?
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm gonna try that when I have a 12-year-old. When they start getting all ornery, I'm gonna be like, "All right, here's I Love This Life." Or every morning when they start waking up, throw that on real loud.
oh man, that's
It's
funny.
one of those songs, man. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure you guys have spent a lot of time on airplanes. You're pretty much on an airplane right now.
Yeah, man.
Do you have any travel hacks or any just like scary or absurd
So many.
airplane experiences?
So
I mean,
many, man. So
the
many.
typicals, acting like you're gonna throw up, so you know keep the middle seat.
Yeah, if you keep bent
I
over
take
and
my
you got your
hat and
bag
stick
there.
it up, and do like the whole thing. 'Cause people are looking down the aisle. They're not looking at you. They're just
Yeah.
looking for.
Yeah, they're
open
not hitting
slots.
face. Eyes aren't touching eyes. That's
Yeah.
just the way it is.
Yeah, so if you stick your hat up, then you can turn it and talk to it and stuff, and they just see that, so now they're scanning past you.
Oh, so
Okay.
is that if you're on a Southwest flight
Yeah,
where it's kind of first come, first
Southwest,
serve?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We don't.
so-
I mean, we'll go now. We can do first class, but if you get first class 3 weeks prior, it's the same price as a Southwest flight at this point. Yeah, I've been finding that out. And when we do that, there are some stories though. We've dropped out of the sky about 5,000 feet maybe, but we've been sitting there, and it just drops. I've been on a plane that's been struck by lightning, and the oxygen comes down, and scares you, but captain's like, it's okay, we're going to put the oxygen back up, nothing's happened. And I'm like, well, after I just wet my pants and stuff.
Pissed your pants.
And then we were on a private plane, second time. It was a PC-12, which is a nice plane. Swiss did a great job. But I don't know how much I'm supposed to.
How do you even know who built the plane? The Swiss?
Swiss, yeah.
I mean, we're so deep.
I'm going
plane guy.
details, bro. I'm
Yeah,
going
I love
details.
that.
But
yeah.
another travel hack, I'm going to get back to that. Travel hack. Are you row niners? You know anything about
That's
No,
the
I know
first-
nothing about row
with
9.
United, that's the first row, and
my guy
the
right
second,
there.
like not business but economy plus.
Yeah, so if you sit in the row 9, like on a Southwest flight, well, then you're going to be the first to get your drinks if you don't want to be a front rower. And I don't like the front row because you got to put your bag above and, shit like that. So it's not nice to be a row niner.
Yeah.
You should always sit in row 9 on
I
Southwest.
didn't know this.
You didn't even know that?
I didn't know that. I don't
Yeah.
fly Southwest.
They'll take your order first and you get your drink first.
All right.
This
Yeah.
weekend,
Crazy.
my buddy, he travels a lot for work. He told me maybe the best Southwest travel hack I've
Let's
ever
go.
heard. He said what you need to do for your overnight bag or your carry-on bag is get one that looks like a purse if you're a dude. And then whenever you get on there, you put your purse-looking bag in the seat beside you.
I like it.
And people are going to assume that that's your wife or girlfriend
Yeah.
coming back to that seat.
You need a merce.
Yeah.
I'm
You
buying
put a
one
Merce
today.
in there.
You put a
Smart,
merce
right?
in the middle.
Very
Buying
smart.
one
I would
today.
see it. I'd like, okay, well, that's where
If you give Chris any reason to go shopping, he's going now.
I'm buying
to
one
Target
today.
to get
Yeah.
a merce.
I see those shoes with not
Yeah.
an ounce of dirt on the bottom.
No.
I've
Not
had
one
these
ounce
for
of dirt.
years.
Really?
Yeah, I've had them for years, and I'm just like, maybe I'll wear them today.
Oh, I was like, how are they that clean?
I have a 14-year-old boy that I have to hide my shoes from. So
Okay.
All right.
these are hidden.
How many termies do you guys usually drink before a flight? Do you know what a termy is?
No.
Okay.
I'm waiting to
that's-
find out what it
It's a
is.
fair
Right.
question. It's a terminal soda. It's pretty much just a beer that you drink in the airport.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pre-flight.
I like that.
Yeah.
Dude, if
Yeah.
I do anything, it's going to be liquor before I get on the plane.
All
I'm
right.
surprised we
Yeah.
haven't heard termies from our Boston Johnny tour manager. I mean,
You would think
Okay. I
you'd
mean,
know
I think
that.
I'm the one who
Yeah.
coined it. So
I like it.
people in the Barstool universe know what they are, but I don't think it's that.
We need
widespread.
termies all the time because we're hammered from the night before, and then
And they take the edge off.
you gotta have it. Yeah, you gotta have it.
I tried a gummy on a plane recently, and that's not a good idea.
Oh, I disagree. It's my.
I
go-to
thought it
method.
was going to be fine.
Yeah.
I was so paranoid. Like, I kept jumping. The guy sneezed next to me. I jumped out of my seat. Scared to
Okay.
death.
Yeah, I could see that, especially being a guy that's been in several like close calls on planes, being like,
Right.
a
But
little
you've
bit
been shot.
paranoid.
Yeah.
You've been shot. I mean,
Yeah.
Plane's not scaring him.
Yeah, but it's been a long time. I mean, it was 2007, so I feel like those days are so far. But it's
Yeah.
like a different life at this point.
Yeah.
Now I'm
Yeah.
a big pussy.
Did you guys have any plane? Like bad.
Well, yeah, I had to wrestle a guy on a plane in hog time.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
Come on.
He was trying to open the plane door.
What?
So
Was
I,
it Wade Boggs?
no. So I was dozing off to sleep, and then I hear some guy 3 rows back being like, stop, stop, stop. And I turn around, this guy's trying to open the door. So I ran
Come
back,
on.
and me and 3 other people kind of like wrestled him into the aisle.
What's he doing?
Then
I mean,
hogtied him. I think he was insane because I found the police cam footage afterwards, and he was like, I was going to meet this woman, Lillian, in Toronto, and like she told me that I needed to like open the plane door to prove my faith. So he may have been in some sort of cult or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went super viral. It was on like USA Today and like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. And then American Airlines didn't do shit. Like I thought they were going to offer me a free flight credit for like helping subdue him. They didn't do anything, but Jose Cuervo reached out and offered me a free trip to Mexico for Cinco de
nice.
Mayo.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jose Cuervo. Oh, dude.
Now you just
yeah,
get like
I'm in the
$100.
navy blue shirt right there.
I'm so mad that he got to do it because it's my
It's a lot of people's dreams.
moment.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
I
mean,
told
you've heard the Wade Boggs story.
Yeah.
Did Wade
I mean,
Boggs
he did
do
the
it?
same. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. After about 40 beers, was it 30 or 40?
Yeah, I think it was like 36, 40. It was a cross country flight.
Recent? Or
And then
no,
is that,
no,
was he
this
so
is-
drunk he tried to
yeah,
open the plane
yeah,
door?
No, I don't think so. I don't know that part. What part are you talking where
This
I
is
know
during
the
season.
beer story.
Well, maybe I'm not supposed to know this part. We got a bunch of buddies in sports, but
And we got to
I
know
think he
Wade.
did like 30 or 40, and then, it's a good idea at that point to just open up the plane door.
Is it?
Just see what's happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just see what's going on.
Need some fresh
Yeah.
air, dude. I need some air.
And I think a couple of players, legend has it, a couple of players had to hold him back. Maybe that just made the story better.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'll
man,
accept
who
it
knows?
as 100%
Yeah, no, it
fact.
sounds very believable.
I like the story.
Yeah.
Another story from like the last time I took, maybe not the last time, but one time I took a weed edible before a flight to China, and I had my headphones in, and the edible's hitting, and I guess I was just kind of like dancing along to the music and stuff, and like shaking
Turns
my
into
feet.
a rave.
And then like a
You go
flight
into the dance
attendant
mode.
came over, tapped me on the shoulder. She's like, "Hi, the person sitting next to you has requested that you calm down." Wow. Because I guess I was just like vibrating on weed, being like, "Let's go."
Yeah, that's Chris.
You don't want to sit next to me in a plane because I'll do that.
Did you guys see what happened this weekend on a flight where the family was flying from, I think it was Germany to Australia, and about halfway through, a woman in the middle seat next to this couple, or they were right by, died.
What?
And there was no place for her to go on the airplane.
Don't you dare say she had to stay there.
She sat
She
in the
just sat
seat.
right here.
She was dead as shit, sitting in the seat
Oh,
right next.
We
my
should put
God.
Big Red right here, right now, and just have him just.
Just,
I mean,
yes.
yeah, like
That
Weekend
is
at Bernie's.
absolutely insane.
Why don't you
Right.
sit down?
Hey, Red, why don't you just
Red,
sit
down
here,
and-
You know
man?
what? I'm gonna.
Pretend to be
Just
dead
play
for
dead.
the
Be
rest.
dead.
the
Yeah, we
rest
Big
of the
Red has
pod.
a great story
Yeah.
though.
Just
Big
play,
Red has a
Yeah,
great
I mean,
story.
Tell it because he's just gonna play dead.
I'm gonna
There you
tell the
go.
story for him.
I'm shocked because I've heard about
Don't
that
move
happening
the rest of this
before, and
interview.
they'll drag the body to the back and just lay the dead body in the back of the plane. But
They didn't have
Yeah.
room because the carts were there because it was the international
Chris, just, I mean,
flight.
it's only
Oh,
been
shit.
10 seconds and I'm already uncomfortable. And it's fake.
and I think after you die, you shit your pants
Guys.
a lot.
He's a
Yeah.
good dead guy.
I mean, everything. You do
smell
more
that?
than.
Did he shit his pants?
He smells like that all the time. No,
yeah,
he's
I
not
mean,
dead.
you're
No,
right. Because people that die can release
Yeah.
their bowels.
Yeah, everything, not
You
just
know?
bowels.
Yeah, like fucking everything.
Yes.
Turning, I mean, 4 hours, you might be getting into rigor mortis territory.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I had one time I was on a flight and someone fainted in the bathroom, and the flight attendant opened the door and she starts running down the aisle going, "Code red, we got a code red." And I feel like you only use code red if the plane is going down.
This is
Yeah.
the code red.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone's dead, that could be like
Code,
code red.
big red.
Yeah.
But I didn't think she had to like start screaming code red just because someone like fainted briefly in the bathroom.
Code red, I would think we're getting hijacked or something.
Yeah.
I'd be, yeah.
Because in a hospital, everything shuts down if it's code
Yeah.
red. You know,
Yep.
they're like
Yeah,
code
yeah.
red. Everybody starts running.
So as a Marine, do you just sit down on a flight and take a look around the flight and be like, all right, I need to keep my eye on you, buddy? I need to.
That's why I'm jealous
Why are
of
you
Donnie
leaving?
because since
Yeah.
I graduated boot camp, I've wanted that moment.
Yeah.
But the only thing I'm mad at him about is the guy walked away without a black eye, without a broken nose.
Yeah,
I
that's your
mean,
chance.
You
So
do that, you're
that's your
getting
chance.
some licks in.
He didn't really fight back at all. Like as soon as we got his hand off the plane door, he just went limp. So it's not like he wasn't trying to like attack us at all. So
You
I
should
feel like
leave
me
that
just
part
pounding
out.
him in the face
Yeah,
would
You
have
should
been
leave
a
that
little
part
more.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dropped some bows on him. Like
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
in the
He knows
UFC.
karate, and you're,
Yeah.
you know.
I think I jabbed a finger in his eye at one point.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Red was on a plane flight, and I have to say this because this is one of the weirdest stories I've ever heard in my life. Big Red was the guy sitting here. He tells us that this guy started going through his phone next to him, showing him dick pics. But just
no.
like this.
So he would like pull up.
Yeah.
He would pull up a picture of his junk
And Red's
and then
sitting
lay
here.
it on his leg right here, and Red's sitting right here. And so he's got this picture a little zoomed in, you know.
Yeah.
And but making sure like if he had a beard or whatever, like this is definitely me, right?
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
so he's got it right there, and then Red is sitting there and just happens to look over, you know, and he sees his junk right there. He sees his dick. He's like, dude. And the dude's like, what? And he's like, bro, put that up, man. Put that away. And he's like, you know, he puts it away. And then a little bit later, pulls up another one, lays it right on his leg. I mean,
Yeah, it's absurd. Yeah.
It's absurd, right? I've heard a million stories
This was
and never
before
seen this.
takeoff, Red?
So it was right before takeoff, and then the worst part was during takeoff. Like when we're like literally going up was the worst part.
So here's what gets worse.
He enjoyed it.
Then he decides. So Red leans over. He says, "Hey, buddy, I need you to quit acting like this." You
Yeah.
know? He's
Put
your dick
the guy's
away.
like, "What are you
Virtual or
talking
not.
about?"
Yeah.
I mean-
Put it away. He says, "What are you talking about?" Like playing it off. So they get up in the air, get to about 10,000 feet. Dude's wearing some gym shorts, right? Mm-hmm. So he pulls his gym shorts up a little bit, and he pulls his dick out from there.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
now you got junk just hanging out,
Yeah, now that's a criminal offense. Like,
right?
Yeah.
Totally a criminal.
And he sits like this.
Oh my god.
You know, so now Red, he's confirming it. He's sitting there, and he just now I wouldn't have looked this way again.
Yeah.
You know, fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah.
Fool me twice, I'm looking at your junk again.
Yeah.
Okay.
We call
now
that a turkey pig.
Third, right?
Yeah.
Now he's looking over again, and boom, there it is. You know.
Yeah, at that
And
point you have to alert the flight attendants.
So he rings his bell, right? You didn't ring your bell?
I was texting the band.
So what are we going to do?
I was like, some dude
Sam,
just
put
like-
it.
I was
Talk into that mic. There you go.
I was like, some dude just pulled his dick out on the plane, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? And so our old guitar player, Paul, he thinks it's a joke, and he's like laughing. He's like, man, just jerk him off, do stuff like that, like saying some crazy shit. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, I think I'm gonna have to beat this dude's ass on the plane. And so I told the dude, I was like, bro, if you touch me with your knee again, like I'm gonna beat your ass. And then I'm sitting here thinking, contemplating, like, if I beat his ass, I'm on a no-fly list. I'm the terrorist, you know. I'm the bad guy
Yeah.
now. But this dude's pulling his dick out on the plane. I'm like, who's gonna believe me? So I'm like, maybe he's cool. So I shove his leg away, like I push him into the window seat. And the next thing you know, like everything's cool. He quit on like the way down, like you know, everything's cool. It's like an hour flight. On the way down,
Notice
like the
how he
last
says way
5 minutes,
down.
his knee starts touching me again. I'm like, what the fuck? So I yell at him. Well, then we're in the I get Billy, our other guitar player, and he like knows how to fight and stuff. I'm like, bro, like when we land, I'm pointing at him like, this is the perv, like this is the dude. Like I'm yelling on the flight. I'm like, this is the dude. Like he's trying to do stuff. Billy's so confused. He's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So in the terminal, like leaving into the airport, like the chute or whatever, I was like, bro, you're a sick motherfucker. Like, I'm yelling and screaming. Everybody's thinking I'm crazy. I'm
Yeah.
yelling at this dude. But yeah, Buddy pulled his dick out on the plane on me. It was
But
Yeah,
I,
'cause,
I
like-
think your friend is right though. Like you either gotta fight him or jerk him off.
Yeah.
Like those are
You
the
have to make a
only
decision,
real
dude.
options.
You have,
like,
to,
if
you have
you-
two choices.
If you just start to fight him on your own, he can like quickly put his dick away, and then when the flight attendants come over, he can,
He
be
can
like,
make it
this
seem like-
guy's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
It was literally
Yeah,
like
that sounds insane.
It sounds
Who would pull their dick out?
It
through
sounds
their
like a
gym shorts?
well-oiled plan. Like maybe he
I
does
could
this on
see
lots
like
of flights.
maybe
Yeah,
if
it's his thing.
he was sitting
his
next
thing.
to someone we thought might be gay, so he's like, I'm gonna just like check by putting out a picture of a dick, but it was very clear you weren't into it.
Hell
I don't know if
was.
I kept looking
No,
at
it
it.
could be playing hard to get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's for the love of the chase.
yeah.
Because they apparently have something where in airplane bathrooms, if someone taps your foot in the opposite stall or something like that, that means like
What?
didn't that happen to a congressman or something like that, where he was caught? It was like a sting that was going on.
Always a
Oh,
at-
I think it was
Congressman.
actually Pelosi.
Totally
No.
makes sense now. Totally makes
Could have
sense.
been.
Yeah,
It
she went in
was-
there with those
yeah.
huge jugs.
It was.
The old Pelosi foot tap.
That's what they call it. Yep.
I guess this is so. It's such a widespread thing that like the FBI was doing a sting, and then that they had an FBI guy in the bathroom, and then if you like reach your leg over. And then, like, if I reached my leg over and tapped you on the foot, it means like, hey, why don't you come over here and
Underneath the stall.
yeah, underneath the stall, it means like, why don't you come over here and give me a blowjob? And then they caught a congressman in that sting, and it was a very anti-gay congressman too.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
it is.
see, he's
tough.
going in. He's gonna.
Well,
get
yeah, I just wanna-
get us names.
Maybe we do need
Yeah,
less
I
like
FBI
this.
agents
Yeah.
if that's what they're assigning the FBI to. Like, who's getting their dick sucked on a plane?
not gonna
we
let
can't
this.
allow this.
Yeah.
Who's, getting the foot taps?
Who gives a shit? I mean, if your dick's getting sucked in a bathroom, who cares? As long
cares?
as it's consenting adults, both as many
Yeah.
people you can fit in there.
It
I
was.
mean,
Bonnie Blue would have a field day.
Yeah, it was Larry Craig.
Who?
Larry Craig. And yeah, he was
Congressman
arrested.
Craig.
And he was at the Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport, used a bathroom there during a layover when an undercover officer said Craig sexually solicited him by tapping his foot.
See, I feel like that's the purest form of entrapment.
Yeah.
Like,
you're
you're
an
going.
FBI agent. You're just gonna sit in there and wait for a foot tap.
Yeah, how many times are you sitting there?
Fully dressed. You're not even shitting. You're just sitting on the toilet.
I can't wait for
That's
someone
my
to foot
move.
tap
You're
me.
sitting on the
I'd
shitter
rather
with
be
no
in
clothes
there
on.
with like nobody in there.
Yeah.
And the airport bathroom might be top 5 worst bathroom.
Yes.
Worst.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
also got that smell.
Yeah, terrible.
That Atlanta airport has their bathroom cleaner or something is the worst god awful smell I've ever smelled in my life.
Yeah, straight up dirty
Ugh.
urinal cake
Yeah.
smell.
It's nasty.
Yeah, that's it.
There was another crazy plane story. And I honestly would sign up for this if they're like, this is going to happen on a plane. It's going to be real scary, but at the end of it, you're going to get 30 grand. I'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
like
the
the
plane in
setup.
Toronto, did you see it?
Yeah, that
the plane in
flipped.
Toronto flipped over, caught on fire. Mm-hmm. That'd be.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
For our line of work, that'd be incredible.
And then you make a quick 30,000. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, that's way too low."
Yeah,
I think
But
it's
I mean,
low.
it is low. I mean, I
Got
would
bad
take
dreams
it for
after
sure.
that.
that'd
Yeah.
be my down payment for our house in Columbia.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I mean, I think there should be something.
Definitely a little bit more.
Yeah,
and fly the
definitely
rest
something.
of your life for free.
Now, what about your international trips? Has there been any
yeah.
place that like blew your mind? I've heard Germany is crazy.
Germany's awesome.
so you guys
That
have
is awesome.
done shows abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a bunch of USO tours and
Oh,
things
nice.
like that. So that's been great.
Where'd you go
Yeah.
on the USO tours?
Man, we went to Romania, Poland. Where else?
We were with 4-star General Hyten, and then Millie. We were with Millie for the first run, and then
He was the vice chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff. Hyten was, and he loved I Love This Life, and he just wanted us to go on the vice chairman's tour. And so it's a little different from.
Fantastic song for the USO.
Yeah, it's great, man.
Fantastic.
You go out there, and man, they just get their hands rocking and building a little morale and giving them a little, I guess, message from home that we're all thinking about them and
our
we
first
appreciate
time in
'em.
Germany. we were with it was the army because it was Stuttgart, right? I think it was Stuttgart we were in. We were there and we went to this little bar, and we're with the American forces and we're just drinking. I think it's the day before St. Patty's Day. We got these big boots and we're drinking, and the German soldiers are on one side, the Americans are on one side, and no fighting or anything like that. You just kind of click thing. And we're like, we need to go drink with the Germans. And I just remember these Marines saying, "You don't want to do that." He's like, "We're Marines. We're not drinking with them." And I was like, "Oh, we're gonna
No,
get
wait
fight."
just a damn minute.
No. He said, "We're not fighting. They're gonna outdrink us. They're gonna outdrink us." I was like,
That's
"There's no."
fair.
Yeah. And I said, "Okay." So they took us over there. We drank with the Germans. We had one boot. They kept going, and I just remember us being carried out
It was
by our
crazy,
Marines
man.
over our shoulders, take us to our hotels and put us back down.
That's why I love the Marines, man.
Yeah, man.
When I came back from Iraq, like I had lost a shit ton of weight, and we went to Germany. Like the stopover was in Spain, Gollum, and it was October, so they had
Yeah.
Oktoberfest going on, so they had all kinds of beer and shit. We were only there for like a day and a half. I went out and tried to drink as much as I did before I went,
Yeah.
and was hammered and
Yeah.
drunk, and I was still like in uniform, but I had taken off my t-shirt, my like
Yep.
top, no hat, walking down like the middle of this road in Germany, like
That's great.
super drunk.
Yeah.
Like the MPs, the military police picked me up. They're like, "What are you doing?" And I was like,
That's
"I just
awesome.
got back. I got shot." And I was like, "I'm supposed to be at the airline." And they're
Yep.
like, "All right." So they hopped in, got my boss, and they were like, "Does he belong to you?" And she's like, "Yeah." What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I used to think you couldn't black out on beer, but that is not true.
Oh, you can
Not
definitely
there
black
you
out.
can.
Yes.
There
Yeah.
you can.
You know, it
We had
was-
a blast though. We all were screaming and laughing. I remember all that. Hands up, and then
Yeah.
But it was cool, man, because on those USO tours, they would let us go on missions with them, like training missions and stuff. Because the vice chairman was out there, they want to show him some of
Yeah.
the things, and so we got to do
Blackhawks.
Blackhawks and Chinooks and things like that. We went up near Transylvania and saw the castles, in Romania
Oh,
area
wow.
and stuff.
Sick, yeah.
Stuff that we would never
Yeah.
get a chance to see.
Did
Yeah.
you get
Riding
to fly
tanks.
in
You
like
probably-
the Blackhawks or anything?
The what?
Did you get to fly in?
Oh,
them
yeah.
or anything?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, flying
we
them.
we actually did one mission
We had
in
to
the
drop.
Blackhawks where we were flying over the top of the treetops, and then a little field opens up, and they land real quick, like
Come back
up
up.
and down.
Touch.
Somebody runs out of the woods, jumps in, they retake off again, and then take them back to the base. So that was cool
Yeah.
to see.
You probably got to see the castle that Dracula was based on.
Maybe.
we did.
Up
I'd
in
like to think
Transylvania.
that.
Yeah.
I think we did. Oh yeah, that's Dracula's
The
castle.
food
Yeah.
in Romania was a little suspect. We
Yeah.
ordered wings.
Oh
and
yeah, dude. All of Europe, they don't really do wings. I think
Yeah.
it's like one of
They're
the
not
most
chicken.
Not
American
sure what it
foods.
was.
out
I
there.
don't know if it was bats.
Well, when we looked outside the window, there was a
They were
bunch of
shaped
crows.
like a bat.
It
They
was a
like
crow,
come.
for
like-
sure.
yeah,
Honest
like-
to God, I'd smoke some
Yeah.
bat.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a crow for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
You think crow?
they were all outside the window looking at us.
Yeah.
There's a
Don't
bunch of
eat
crows
it.
out there.
That's
Yeah.
fucked up because they're so smart.
Yeah, they
Oh
are.
yeah.
Crows are crazy.
Crows are.
smart.
Yep. One of the
Yeah.
smartest animals.
Yeah.
Ireland had good wings, but the wings were about yay big.
Really?
Probably like
Tiny.
a third the size of an
Like
American.
Cornish hens.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so you guys clearly aren't afraid of flying, because I know some people, they're like, I get nervous on flights, but I definitely would never get on a helicopter. But I mean, I think helicopters are fun as
I
shit.
don't think I'd ever do it again.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
done with choppers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless it is
Yeah.
a Black Hawk or somebody.
Yeah, I
if
mean,
it's our
we're-
military, I'll
hey,
get on it.
We're honorary guardians
Of the Space
in
Force.
the Space Force.
Oh,
Okay, I
Yeah.
mean, listen, I would like to think in the next 20 years, commercial space might become more affordable.
We're trying to
Yeah.
be the first guys to sing in space.
That
So
would be-
I mean, they know it. We've let them know.
Yeah.
And the first step was becoming guardians, and so
Okay.
they made us honorary. And we went down to Cape Canaveral, down in that area, and did the ceremony. It was cool, man. And then they gave us some secrets.
Yep.
Some space talk secrets.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
cool.
Not related to aliens.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Maybe so, a little bit.
Okay.
Now, what about favorite spots like overseas that you've done?
Switzerland. I love Switzerland. It's beautiful. Crazy. Absolutely. The food is the best food I've ever had in my life.
Really?
The chocolate is insane.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I ate at McDonald's. I wanted to go to McDonald's in Switzerland for some reason, and it was not a normal McDonald's chicken sandwich. It was like the one you see on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Everywhere
Holy
else
hell.
does like so much
Yeah.
better fast food than we
Yeah.
do.
The
They
UK's
clean
been
it.
good to us, man. They play us a lot on the radio there and treat us well when we come over there and play festivals. and
Australia's
stuff.
nice.
Australia.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Now, I would assume Australia has a lot of country music fans.
They do.
Yeah.
They do have a
Is it-
lot.
And they know all the
Keith
words
Urban
to
is the
every
one
song.
who is from.
Yeah, he's
Urban's
from there.
Okay. Yeah.
But we went down
Yeah.
there, and I remember we signed autographs after this huge festival. Line of maybe 400 people. I mean, hours. And this guy must have stood in it for like 2 hours. He comes up to us and he goes, "Man, I just want to tell you, I'm not a fan of your music, but I really do appreciate you coming to our country."
Everybody's just cool over there.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, cool, all right."
I'll take
Damn.
it.
Dude, it's that amazing. They're nice.
I've
Yeah.
always said I wouldn't stand in 2 hour line to meet Jesus. Like I'm not standing
way.
in a 2 hour line to meet anybody.
And even if the fast pass line is long, maybe I'm not doing
Yeah, I
that
don't do
either.
the fast
you know?
Yeah,
pass. If it's not-
right.
If it's long,
It's tough. Yeah, man, it's you got to do shoeys over there, and you know
Oh,
what shoey
yeah,
is,
yeah.
yeah. And so we did our first shoey on stage in front of like 25,000 people. It was crazy, man.
We did it early though, so when we took our shoe off, it wasn't.
Oh,
you know,
okay. Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
And you got to go new shoe too. Like those would be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I would
do
do
a
a shoey
shoey.
out of those.
I did a
but
cowboy boot. I just did it old school.
Okay.
And drank
Yeah.
out and threw it
I had
out.
a pair of Vans.
PFT did a shoey out of my shoe, and it was the dirtiest
That's
shoe I've
horrible.
ever owned. I was like worried that he was going to contract some sort of disease because I'd just been in Tajikistan around like a bunch of livestock, cows and horses, just like
This is so
walking
gross.
through the muck. And then I traveled to Hong Kong, and that's where I was with PFT at a
Oh,
rugby
boy.
thing. And I like, and it was just on the spot. Like we were on camera, and I was
Yeah.
like, "You want to do a shoe?" He's like, "Yeah, let's go." And I handed him my shoe, and then halfway through, I was like, "I shouldn't have done
Now
that."
he's got a
Like,
hangnail
That's
that grows
absolutely-
out of his lip. and-
yeah.
He's got other teeth over
Yeah.
here.
And that
Yeah.
Tajikistan video was gross. Like the,
Yeah, I was around just herds of horses,
Yeah.
like yeah,
Yeah.
in the mud.
Yep.
Australia
Tough
also
stuff.
has. We were doing the festival, and an alarm, a siren was going off for when a snake, one of the bigger snakes that they have, most deadly snakes, are at least 100 to 300 feet from the festival.
Like a mamba.
I don't know if they have
Mambas.
mambas
I
in
do not
Australia, but
remember
they
that.
have
I
some
believe
very
it's
poisonous
some sort
fish.
of rattlesnake, but
Okay.
Well, everything's poisonous over there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everything.
Yep.
I don't remember the alarm.
They also had a storm, which I usually don't get too much.
That was
storm.
wild.
No, I don't even. I'm not sure what their storms are called. Typhoons, maybe. 'Cause
Yeah,
I know
something.
hurricanes are in our
Yeah.
hemisphere.
Typhoon on that.
It didn't last
hemisphere,
long,
yeah.
whatever it was. It was
Yeah.
in and out. But
Nice.
Yep. Did a lot of typhoons in Japan.
I bet.
I want to go to Japan.
Yeah, it's sick.
I heard that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, the Cubs are playing the Dodgers in a couple days.
No.
oh yeah,
Tokyo.
that's right.
Over in Japan, that's
I wanna
awesome.
go.
Yeah.
You guys down? Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, he
Opening
I think
day.
If he normally he would totally do it if he didn't just have a baby. I'm sure you would hop on a plane.
Yeah, I do at some point. I want to do like a 24-hour trip to China.
I
Well, I
really
think-
yeah.
Just like,
It's the perfect time to tell your
Document the whole
wife you're
thing.
leaving right now.
yeah,
You're gonna
I don't
go.
think I'm gonna do
Open
that.
How
day.
old's the baby?
Just like a week.
Oh, you're
wow.
good.
Week and
You
a
can
couple
leave.
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
You can
Yeah,
leave now.
you
She
can
got
go
it
to
out.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
No problem.
Oh man. A quick update on the Larry Craig.
Uh-oh.
So he claimed that he just has a wide stance when he shits, and that's why his foot was tapping the other guy's foot.
I mean that's a good excuse.
I mean, I don't
Just
hate that
one.
excuse.
Yeah.
You're away from your squatty potty, things need to happen.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
man,
true.
Everybody's
nervous.
got. I mean, if you look backed up, I mean, you gotta move around a little bit, and
That's a super
Coming
wide,
from where was he
super
coming from?
wide.
Minnesota, St. Paul.
Yeah. He
Oh,
was
that's
in Minnesota.
that's a protein shit.
Yeah, I mean, poteen's more Canadian, but is it big in Minneapolis too?
I didn't know they were there. But yeah, this is
Yeah.
great.
So we don't know if this FBI agent could have been like his foot next to,
It's
The
a protein
FBI agent
shit.
probably had a
You
wide
know what I
stance.
mean?
Yeah.
and all he had to do was just like tap it by accident. We don't know. We weren't there.
And if I haven't heard of that, I can't imagine it's too popular. Because I'm a big
But I'm also going to tell
Big,
you, in all the
getting
years,
jerked off an airport guy.
yeah, I
in
love
all
it.
the years I've been alive, and many shits in airports,
Mm-hmm.
never has my foot come that close to someone else's foot.
Okay.
Yeah,
It has at
Never.
the stall before. At the stall,
yeah.
somebody's been close to me and a foot's touched mine.
You got the foot tap?
I did.
Oh shit!
You got a
It's
foot
real.
tap?
It exists.
I mean,
Missed
What else
opportunity.
happened, Chris? Go ahead and
Yeah.
tell us everything. Tell us
I was
everything.
trying to take a picture of his ring.
Wow. Man.
You talked about some of the worst places you've performed in the U.S., but what city is your favorite in the U.S.? I guess it doesn't have to
That's a
be
lot.
to perform in, but your favorite city to visit.
I love Charleston, South Carolina.
Beautiful
Charleston
city.
is just absolutely gorgeous. The
Yeah.
food, everything.
Yeah.
It's
Besides
amazing.
being cold, Chicago's one of my favorites because, usually we go to a Cubs game and I'm a big Cubs guy. And so, we always try to get to games in every town we go to.
do.
Yeah.
But
Boston.
the Cubs,
Boston's a great city.
yeah.
Yeah.
great.
Boston's a fantastic.
We got to
city.
play
Tons of
Fenway.
country fans too.
Lots
Fenway.
of country
That's
fans.
sweet.
Yeah, we
Lots.
got to play Fenway this last summer with Kane Brown, and
Nice.
that was a bucket list. That's wild.
It's a cool, positive town to play.
Charleston, South Carolina. Have you ever hung out at Shem Creek where they have like Red's Ice House and
No.
stuff? Okay, it's a beautiful little creek of all these bars along it, and then you just see porpoises like swimming in the
It's
creek.
awesome.
That's Chris's love language right there.
Yeah,
It's my love language.
It's-
Yeah,
I just
have
jump
heard
in,
that.
you
When
know?
I
Yeah.
researched you guys, I had heard that he's a big
Love-
porpoise and river guy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a dolphin guy.
Anytime.
When I met Chris, he He was like,
I was a dolphin. I
was living in a little apartment, and he had his house, and so he said, you can have the room upstairs. I was like, this is sweet. I'll go over there. So I went over there and moved my shit in, and I get in there, and just dolphin shit everywhere, man. It's got dolphin
shit. It was like, I study marine biology and photography.
This
so.
had nothing to do with marine biology. This is dolphin wallpaper and shit.
I have heard that
has
dolphins
nothing to do with marine biology.
The vagina of a dolphin is the closest animal vagina to a human.
Would you like to explain yourself, sir?
What is going on, man? Foot taps in Minneapolis, and
listen, they're the most horniest mammals on the planet, other than us.
That's how actually I learned.
You should look into bonobos.
Are they horny too?
Oh yeah,
that's a bonobos.
It's like kind of like a chimpanzee, like adjacent.
Yeah,
but they are horny. Like they're. I took a class on them in anthropology about
look at
primates,
these guys.
But they. For their social
he looks
structure.
horny. You could just tell.
I think,
they're horny from a young. Look at that guy. Top, top middle.
That is some horny guys.
Top middle.
Yeah,
you telling me that guy isn't a freak? That
guy on the right looks like I got an idea.
Red, was that the guy on the plane next to you?
Look at him holding his dick. He's about to hold it right now,
dude.
Yeah, I think they're known for
a plane.
I mean, you can't have bone in your name without having a bone.
Bonobo.
That's true. So their society structure, whoever is in charge, is the one that fucks the best. And they don't care male, female. They're fucking everybody.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Look at those monkeys go.
It's like Creed from The Office.
That's the
Maybe
winner
a couple
right there.
dudes Slept in.
Is that an orgy?
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, it kind of looks like.
I mean, look at
it
them
does.
sniffing ass.
Yeah, yep.
And when they're super horny, male and female, their butts start swelling out. So the one that's sitting down, ready to get her back blown out.
This is unbelievable.
That would be cool if like
can't wait
humans
till my
like
wife
a girl's
watches
ass got larger when she was horny.
Yeah,
So you could just like walk through the bar and just like
kind of like a dude.
Are those
who has the
victory
biggest butt?
bananas? Those are victory bananas.
Yeah.
Like, I did it.
I really hope when I get home, my wife's butt's going to be out and a little bit bigger.
All swollen from you on, ready.
Here, babe.
Yeah. Dolphins, though, are actually how I learned what a clitoris was because I was swimming with dolphins when I was 10, and the instructor was like, whatever you do, do not touch the clitoris because you will start something that we won't be able to stop.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
It would just
They're
start
aggressive.
humping you uncontrollably.
There's
and then I had to ask my mom. I was like, what's a clitoris, Mom?
They're horny
Yeah.
when you swam. When I swam with them, they warn you like that too. And I remember the one that, there's one that was horny. The females are very, very horny.
Mm-hmm.
Males are territorial. They're the only other mammals that do it for fun.
Yeah.
Maybe
pigs too? I don't know.
I don't know.
But
Bonobos.
I've definitely heard that about
Look up the
dolphins.
pigs.
Oh yeah, and
Bonobos are
and
back,
bonobos.
baby. Yeah.
Do you guys have time to quickly listen to the only country song that I've ever made?
Yeah. Let's
All
go.
right, you might have to.
have a country
Are we
song?
about
Yeah.
to sign you to our record label? Are you about
I
to
don't
get a
know.
record deal?
I don't think so. So just a little. I used to live in China for almost like 6 years. So this story is about how I ended up there. It may or may not be true.
I like it already.
This is going to be exciting. What's it called? Can you tell us?
It's called Out to China. And
Okay.
my country name in this song I think was Chad Whiskey Sippin' Williams.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh, very, very 70s.
great
Very
country
70s
name, man.
country.
Now it's not super poppy. It's more old school country.
Yeah, it sounds
But
70s
I
with
think-
the name, so.
I think the lyrics play. All right. This here's a song about running away from what you're scared of. 'Cause sometimes those monsters bite.
Strong stash.
Hear me out now. Huh. My wife left me the other day. She told my kids your dad is gay. Those sons of bitches probably believed
that Green
her. No.
Wow.
Why didn't I leave her before that bitch left me? Yeah, they were just very confused. My gambling hole's
they were not
as
dancing with
deep
me. They were
as
doing other
hell.
dance.
My boss is always asking Chad, what's that smell? Don't play dumb, you know damn well that's whiskey. And if you ever did frisk me, you'd probably find a flask. So don't ask
Nice.
My bills ain't paid. I ain't been laid. My steak.
The people dancing in the background is fantastic.
Good video.
So it looks like I'll just hit the drive-thru for dinner. I'm a winner. There's only one thing that can make this right, and that's an ice cold bottle of Bush Light. I swear that stuff's the nectar
You rock that
of
look,
the
though.
gods. Yeah.
It's a strong look.
Baby's dancing too.
When
Yeah,
I
baby loves
went
it.
to the liquor store, the cashier said, Chad, you shouldn't be drinking when you're on your meds. I told that bitch, just tell
You guys should
me
do a cover of
where
this.
the bush is.
Tonight. Maybe you should just come and sing it tonight.
Shit, yeah.
She I mean, said, that's the only
"Chad,
thing
I'm
that
gonna call the
I could probably tell my
boys
wife
in
that
blues,
I gotta
so
leave the baby to go perform on
Listen,
stage.
I got a show. I got a gig. They're paying me $40.
Plus tips.
Yeah.
What a whore.
I'll be the Maxim lady that goes around.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Kinda like an usher at church.
No beer. I wish I
Uh-oh.
could get out of here if only
Some groupies for you.
someplace
It's happening.
I could go. I don't know.
Well, watch out.
Then I walked by way younger than me. He
She's
said,
got it
"I
down
make
back
a
there now.
living
She's going home with somebody.
Yeah, she
Chinese. If you wanted a job,
Oh.
I'm sure
Scooter guy's back.
you
The mafia just got you, bro.
I said, boy, I don't think that I'm qualified. I got no high school
Donnie said that,
degree and 4
like,
DUIs.
they think you're weird in China no matter what, so it gives you, like,
Oh,
a license to do whatever.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Probably just how they Just think all white shave people your act normally. beard and shoot
mean, it kinda
some
is.
guns. I'll get you a job
I mean,
by
everybody's
morning
dancing now.
sun.
Yeah.
So I went back
Is your
home
Except for that guy on the back.
myself. I think they're just dancing to their Well, own all music. right.
I love you still have the tag on your guitar too.
Yeah. About to play a little take drums. I my could not play white
Oh,
ass any guitar, so I'm just- overseas.
What? I would've never
My
guessed
wife
that. Just by
called
your
me
fingers.
about child support. Said she's gonna I am a take lefty, yeah. me to the county court. I told that bitch I
This is a very long song.
I think it's over now. It finally gets the point.
No babies in that.
It
stroller.
might need a chorus. It might need a little more.
To China.
It could be. It's
Yeah, if you
it's a
can
little
knock
slow.
it down to about 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming
All right, boom.
Well, you
That's the
kind
song.
of you said
Did they cheer
everything
for you?
we've always wanted to say.
Okay.
Country
On
songs.
the backup
All right,
guitar, Miguel. Don't worry, he's one of those good Mexicans. I said, once again, thanks for voting for me out to China. Catch you on down
I almost
the
don't even feel like it's you.
Right?
That's how.
I'm gonna come with you.
I mean, that was incredible.
I mean, you
actually.
went all the
I
way
wrote
to
the
China
lyrics.
to film
I
this.
sang the song.
you
No, I
shot
was
the
I was
video.
I was already living in China when I recorded that song.
That's.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to say, I'm
This
very
is good.
impressed that there were so many lyrics.
Yeah.
A lot. Like you had a lot to say.
Yes, I did.
You had
It
some,
was
like,
my
little
first time.
internal
I
rhyming going
yeah.
on. It was great.
I feel like you had 6 songs in one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it can be like trimmed down, just condense the best parts into a 2-minute, 45-second song.
You don't want to
and
go
then
over that.
Brother,
might
that's
have
an
something.
album. You got an album.
Yeah, you at least have a
Just-
an
that's
EP.
what we call the extended version.
Okay.
That's, yeah.
I mean, I was crying just with the people dancing in the background. That's fantastic.
I like that "Don't Ask and Flask" rhyme.
Now, which
That-
one of you
that
slept
one
with the
sticks with
girl
me.
in the middle that was dancing?
I don't see. I think she was a little too
Gotta
old
be
for me.
white.
She
Yeah.
might look young in the video, but in China, that lady was probably like close to 50.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's got to be the
They-
white guitar
they-
guy.
they
You got a
age
white guitar.
very
you
gracefully.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah.
came in
Yeah.
strong.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my cheeks hurt from laughing so much. I love the 4 DUI line. That was a good one.
Thank you.
was a
Thank
really
you.
good
Thank
one.
you. I had written rap songs before. That was my first time trying to write some country lyrics.
Do you have a rap
Could you
video
do that
too?
live tonight? Could you do it live?
I mean, I would if you wanted to have me on, but as you said, it's kind of long, and like probably no one at the show is gonna
Can
have
you do
any idea what's
like
going
a
on.
condensed version?
One verse, a chorus.
I could. I mean,
bridge,
I
maybe.
feel
Is there a
like,
Chinatown here?
Yeah.
yes,
An awesome one.
there is.
Go get you some dancers.
I feel like without the context of all of a sudden you bring someone on stage who's doing a country song about like having to go out to China to find a job, it might be
I think they
a little
might
out of
love
left
it.
field.
But I feel like in
Yeah.
this city, enough people there would know who you are.
It's just a
Yeah.
big moment.
See.
It's a big moment. Have you ever done it live on stage anywhere?
No.
This is
Dude,
what I'm
are you
saying.
kidding
This is
me?
it.
This
Okay.
is your shot, dude.
All right, the invitation's there.
Look, you
If
tell your
wanna
wife,
come
take
out-
care of the baby. I'm coming.
Okay,
I'm going
all
out
right,
to the
all
show
right.
tonight.
We'll be in touch.
Bring the
yeah,
baby.
for sure.
Yeah. Bring the baby
I
up.
don't know if I'll be bringing the baby, but I'm sure my
Baby in a-
wife.
What do they call the
Wouldn't mind.
papoose in the back?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right,
Love
fellas, we appreciate your
Yeah,
time.
man.
Thanks so much.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Drop a Pin is brought to you by Hey Dudes, which are the foundation of comfort. They are the ultimate slip-on shoes. I'm wearing some right now. They're lightweight, breathable, and ridiculously comfortable. These things have been clutch this winter. I mean, especially now that they have a boot. I can still wear these out in the Chicago snow, but when I come home, I don't have to spend, minutes untying my shoes. Just can slip them right off into the shoe cabinet. And then tying boots before you go out can be quite a hassle too, but with Hey Dudes, that is not a problem. Hey Dudes are designed to go wherever you go, from an airport security line to a night out. That's also where they come in handy on flights.
Dude, I didn't even think about that.
I always rock Hey Dudes, especially because I get hot on airplanes. If the flight's longer than 3 hours, you know me, I'm taking off my shoes. And before, those seats are kind of small, so it's tough to get down there, take your shoes, and put them back on. But with Hey Dudes, it's just slip on, slip off. Just pure comfort, no hassle. Now, if you're ready to stop tying shoes forever and start living in comfort, go to heydude.com today and find your perfect pair. That's heydude.com to find your perfect pair.
Drop a Pin is sponsored by BetterHelp. Let's talk number. Traditional in-person therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session, which adds up fast. But with BetterHelp Online Therapy, you can save an average up to 50% per session. With BetterHelp, you pay a flat fee for weekly sessions, saving you big on cost and time. Therapy should feel accessible, not a luxury. With online therapy, you can get quality care at a price that makes sense and can help you with anything from anxiety to everyday stresses. Your mental health is worth it, and now it's within reach. I've said for years that using therapy is like using a brain dentist. Like everybody goes to the dentist every 6 months to a year. I fully believe that everybody should go to a therapist at least yearly. Like even if you're feeling like everything is going correct for you, you're feeling great, still check in, see if you got any cavities that you might not be aware about. But if you need weekly therapy, this is the great spot because they have 30,000 therapists. BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. It's convenient too. You can join a session with the click of the button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. One of the things I like about it is that it's totally online. You don't have to drive across town. It could take 30 minutes or depending on where you live. It's not a pain in the ass to get your insurance provider to pay for it or do any of that kind of stuff. You can just sign on and do it easily.
And you can change your therapist like that.
At
You
any
know,
time.
some people don't click with the first therapist they try. That doesn't mean therapy isn't for them. They just need to find the right person.
One of my favorite Kate stories is she used it with the VA, therapy with the VA. She was like, I logged in online and it was like this dude that was like 83 years old. She was like, I couldn't relate to him, and getting it changed was like an act of Congress essentially. But when she tried BetterHelp, she didn't match the first time, got it the second time, and she was rolling from there. Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/wonton today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/wonton.
This is crazy. Okay, let me get strapped in.
Yep. Buckle up. Could get bumpy.
All right. Holy cow.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
You were actually one of our first Getting Cultured guests.
Yes. It was riveting and it felt great. But I feel even better in the middle seat.
Yeah, it's a lot less awkward where you're sitting now.
Yeah, Drew, I was like hunched over.
And these seats do recline if
They do?
you want to chill.
yeah.
Yeah, you just got to...
Oh my God. You don't even have to care about the people.
It's kind of
behind you.
nice. Like for recording a podcast, it's not more comfortable than most podcast seats,
Yeah.
I think.
I feel zen. I feel nice. I could sleep with my mouth open like Sam.
Way to go, Sam.
Does Sam sleep with his mouth open on planes?
The picture of him, oh my gosh, can I show you really quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible. Is it on Twitter in the Moo Can't Sleep group message?
On Luke's Twitter.
Mook's Twitter. All right, let's get after it because this is.
Now, when you fly, do you like prefer window, aisle?
I'm a big aisle girly because when I have to pee, I go into like major anxiety mode and I like feel stuck.
And you don't want to have to bother the people next to you? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm so scared. It's not on Mook Can't Sleep. Where is this? This is worth it, I promise.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Oh, yep. I know people like that.
Yep.
All right, so he's a big lean
Do you
back
feel good about this?
sleep
I
guy.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're saying that like Colton's more of a respectful sleeper.
Colton's just a respectful guy overall.
He really is.
Sweet.
Sam's respectful though too. He's just open-mouthed.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you guys.
All right.
Have you ever noticed that you are in the middle of a tourist trap?
Sure. I would say, yeah. I mean, so one of my spots that I would say is probably top 5 most beautiful places I've been to was also just insanely touristy, and that is Dubrovnik, Croatia. Game of Thrones really blew it up because it's where they film all the King's Landing scenes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Are you a fan of Game of Thrones?
Love Game of Thrones.
So you're walking around and there's like a million Game of Thrones tours going on. Or just like American tourists are walking around being like, this is where they filmed this scene from Game of Thrones, yada, yada, yada.
In a city with like 4,500 years of history or more, they were like, oh man, I want to talk about the TV show I like.
Yeah. You're not learning about the actual
the history there.
history of the place. And all of the restaurants, I mean, they're all catering to tourists, so they're all serving the same exact things. You're not getting to really try like great local food. I'm sure you can find spots, but it's just harder to find with all the places catering to tourists.
Now, what do you think the most disappointing that is just like a nothing but a tourist spot that you've been to?
I don't know. I mean, have you been to some tourist traps? I mean, you said you love going to Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's a tourist trap.
I like it, but it's like the novelty of it. Like, you know what you're getting into. You're like, I'm going to leave here with like a blonde Dolly Parton wig or something.
Huge dolly head.
Yeah, like a little novelty. Yeah, I really do enjoy that. I've never left the country, but yeah, I like feeling like commercialized sometimes. Like Myrtle Beach every once in a while. Just to humble yourself?
I've never been to Myrtle Beach, and I used to shit on it a lot, and I was like, I got to stop doing that until I've actually been. I think, if you like to golf, you like strip clubs, and you like just chilling on the beach, I'm sure it's a great spot.
Yeah, and if you're like 15 also,
Yeah?
then it's a good time.
Do they allow a lot of underage drinking there?
Yes. I think everything's legal there.
Really?
I think that's a law.
Yeah.
In Myrtle Beach. People do call Myrtle Beach the Amsterdam of South Carolina.
Yeah.
There you go.
Another kind of a tourist. So I lived in Venice for a year, but it was like 2021 or something. So we were still kind of in COVID. So not as many tourists. And it was great. But towards the end of my year there, all the tourists came back. And that place, I think right now there's only like 50,000 legit locals live there. The rest of the population, it's all tourists.
In Venice?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Wow. In Venice, Italy. So it kind of is just like one giant tourist attraction now. And there were a few days where you're just walking down the streets and it almost feels like you're waiting in line because it's so packed. So even just to walk down the street, it's like I'm in line for an amusement park ride. I do think it's still worth going to in person just because it's one of the most unique cities on the planet. Like there's 0 cars inside the entire planet because there's no streets. It's just canals and boats. That's how you get around.
That's crazy. Wow.
You haven't left the country, but what's the longest flight you've been on, you said?
From Charlotte, North Carolina to Palm Springs. I think we went to LAX though. I don't know how long that is. 4 hours about?
Yeah, 5.
Maybe 5?
5? Yeah, that's the longest for me.
Okay.
But aisle seat for sure.
Aisle seat. And do you raw dog flights or?
No.
Okay.
I like prep by making myself not sleep. And then I like to pass out as long as I can on planes.
Yeah,
Big plane sleeper.
I sleep well on flights. I have noticed the older I get, the less well I sleep. But I'm old enough to remember when you were on flights, there would just be like one movie played. And it was just like a set movie that would be played. Like now the fact that you
It's
can
like
choose,
a family-friendly one too. Typically, you're like Home Alone, and it's July.
but now like the fact that you can choose between 50 movies, TV shows, they'll even have like podcasts and stuff. It's made flying a lot easier because even if I'm on a 12-hour flight, I know if I watch 2 movies and sleep for 4 hours, that is taking care of a big chunk of it. And then like the time that you spend eating your meals and stuff.
Also, edibles are a game changer.
Yeah. Some people love weed edibles on flights. Some people don't because they're worried about freaking out when they're in like a tight, compact place.
That's fair.
Do you drink on flights?
Yes. Well, I drink before the flight 100%. Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what time of day.
Yep. I always drink pre-flight. I guess when you're flying internationally, something you will soon learn is that booze is free most of the time. Usually wine and beer will be free when you're flying abroad. Yeah.
Damn.
So I will always take advantage of that. But I guess if I'm flying in the US and it's not free, I won't be drinking on the flight unless I'm like really hungover and need some hair of the dog.
Isn't it American Airlines that will, even if you have like economy plus, they give you booze?
Could be.
Yeah, I think they do it. I know United, you have to be in first class, but I think American or Delta, one of those two, has it where you get free booze.
And I mean, it used to be you'd get a full meal on your flight regardless of where you're going. Now, if you're flying in the U.S., you don't really get a free meal. Even I flew New York to Alaska because we technically weren't leaving the country. There were no free meals provided.
How long is that flight?
I was, I think, 8 hours or something.
Damn.
Yeah.
What's the longest flight you've been on?
It's 16 and a half, I think. Yeah. That might have been Atlanta to Shanghai.
Yeah. Mine was Detroit to Tokyo.
Was that around the same length?
Yeah, about the same. 17, something like that. 16, 17.
Oh my God.
Well, Hannah, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys. This is so fun.
It's
You need to get
comfortable,
the podcast on an airplane.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would make so much sense. I feel like people would really be into it.
Yeah, I mean, I could hook a GoPro to the seat in front, and if we were on a long flight, we could podcast.
Imagine sitting down and like it's us on the other side. Like, so, you have any questions for us while you're on this plane?
Yeah. But if it was just me, you, and Sam in a row, no one
Like,
would complain.
holy shit.
Yeah, if you're just shoving a mic in people's faces.
How do you feel right now?
Some people would be down. Some people would be like, get that
Oh, my
fucking
mom
microphone
would
away
love
from
it.
me.
She'd be like, I'd love to talk to you. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
There's like two
So what
types.
church you go to?
Yeah.
We'd love to have you here.
I'm not a big talker on flights. I'm happy to have a quick 10-minute combo when we first sit down, but then like once we take off, it's like, all right, I'm going to do my own thing.
Oh, I usually only use AirPods unless I'm going on a flight, and then I go with like the biggest ones, like do not talk to me.
Okay, yeah.
Perfect.
All right,
Okay, well,
thanks, Hannah.
thanks, guys. So much fun. Let me put my seat back up.